Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into this video. Today let us know about classification of materials based on crystallinity. Before going into the lecture, I would like to request you to subscribe my channel. So here we see about classification of the materials based on crystallinity. So based on the crystallinity of materials, we can classify them as crystalline materials and non-crystalline, or you may say amorphous materials. So now crystalline materials can be further classified based on the grain sizes, that is monocrystalline or single crystalline, and the secondly polycrystalline or multicrystalline. So firstly we see about monocrystalline materials. So here it is a material in which crystal lattice of the sample is continuous, that is with no grain boundaries in it. So the periodic arrangement is continuous, like so the period, there is no where the periodic arrangement is disturbed, and so that's what it means continuous. Like if you take a cube and draw lines in all directions, then with equal spacing on all the sides you draw uh, in all the phases, that is six phases, then you will get intersecting points in the cube, inside the cube also. So now these points, let's say these points represent the atoms, so they will be uh, continuous, means so if the atoms are at each point, then they are at equidistant from each other with in case you have drawn all the lines uh, with equispaced. So, so here in this case, the distance between the atoms are equal and they are arranged very regularly. So that's what happens with monocrystalline materials. That's the meaning of being continuous with no grain boundary. And so this will give us that the absence of the defects. So the defects are not present in this case, because the absence of defects associated with grain boundaries in the crystal, this will give rise to unique properties of mechanical, optical, and electrical properties. And these monocrystalline materials have high degree of order and geometric periodicity throughout the entire crystal. And monocrystalline materials has only one crystal, that is, as the atoms are arranged regularly in a periodic manner, and it is anisotropic. That is, because see that monocrystalline actually monocrystalline silicon is not present in nature, but it is through processing we are from silica we are processing it to polycrystalline silicon, and then it is again processed to get monocrystalline silicon, and monocrystalline silicon doesn't have defects, so its electrical properties will be good. So whereas a polycrystalline silicon, if you take, it has defects. So these defects gives rise to maloperation of electronic devices or inefficient. There will be more power loss, etc. All those things can happen with polycrystalline silicon. So, so in that case, only monocrystalline silicon we can serve the purpose, and so it is processed from polycrystalline silicon. And next is the polycrystalline materials. So unlike monocrystalline, polycrystalline materials have atomic order in the in sections, that is grains of the solid, different orders and size from grain to grain. So if you take a cube of let's say 1 meter side each, then if you take a cube of 1 meter side, then in that the periodic arrangement is not throughout the cube but only through small sections, like in the order of nanometer to micrometer. So if you can construct like a small cube inside the cube whose length whose side is 1 nanometer, so only in that small cube the atomic periodicity can exist, and that small cubes are nothing but grains. So here, uh, so grain sizes are typically in the order of nanometer to micrometer, and within the grains, regular pattern of atoms exist, but the grains are arranged in random fashion. So here, the small cubes which I mentioned, that is of size nanometer or 1 micrometer, they are in them the atomic periodicity is there, but they are arranged in a random fashion. And most materials in the nature are polycrystalline in nature. So here we can see the examples like cadmium telluride, copper, indium selenoid, gallium arsenide, and these all materials are present in nature as polycrystalline. So here we can see in the figure the grains, different grains. So here we can see there are 4 grains. So in the first grain we can see uh, 6 atoms. They are arranged in one way, and in the second grain there are more than that. It is 18 atoms are there. So these are arranged in another fashion, but in the grain itself they are arranged uh, periodically like this. So here they are arranged periodically, and we may see another grain here. So here they are arranged very periodically. So within the grains, the periodicity is there, and we may see with the diagram here. So this each area represents one grain. So now you can see that each grain structure is different. So here it's like this, and here the shape is different, and the amount of the atoms in this grain are different. And between the two grains, we have grain boundaries. So grains, these are differently oriented crystals. And next we have the third one, amorphous materials or non-crystalline materials. These materials consist of randomly oriented atoms, ions or molecules that do not form defined patterns or regular lattices. So here in this case we do not see the periodicity of atoms even in the scale of nanometer or micrometer, but it might be present within a few atomic or molecular dimensions, and so this is different category of material. That is, it is present only few atomic or molecular dimensions. So examples of amorphous materials are glass, plastic, and amorphous silicon is also there. So these are the uh, examples of amorphous materials, and so each this class of materials have different properties. So studying this nature of these materials, we can understand its applications. So with this we have seen the 3 types of materials based on crystallinity, and please subscribe my channel to get more videos. Thank you.